Hello, welcome to the Connect 0007 experience. Here, we come to the podcast where human connection is everything. If you're trying to connect better with those around you, you're in the right spot. So please, sit back, relax, open your mind, and enjoy the experience. Hello there, Connect 0007 Tribe. I am the host of this amazing podcast, and today is our 80th episode titled Rasharia Good. And this is actually a special guest because this would be the first family member pretty much in the history of the podcast for me. So yeah, this would actually, so we have a family member up in here, and I'm very excited to share her with you all because of some really amazing things. One of the things is that my cousin is actually an actor, and then some. But before I go any further, I'm going to let her tell you more. But before that, you all know I have to share the fun fact with you all. And so the fun fact is, this is interesting. So for those of you who are not for animal testing, I'm sorry, but fun fact. While trying to find a cure for AIDS, the Mayo Clinic made glow-in-the-dark cats. This is due to their use as a specific protein that was fluorescent green. They used this protein to find out if their tests worked. If the animals glowed, the outcome was successful. So in this cure for AIDS, we had some glow-in-the-dark cats. Now, I'm not gonna lie, if I seen some, I'm gonna be a little outlandish. If I seen a little glow-in-the-dark pussy just roaming around out here, I'm just gonna lose it. So I don't know. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna call my sister. Like, oh my God, I just seen a glow-in-the-dark pussy running around here. She's like, what? Yeah, it was glow-in-the-dark. I would have a blast with it. And some of you I know are probably judging me when you hear this, but just know, think about it. You're going outside. It's Wednesday night. You got to take the trash down. And you rolling the trash down to the end of the road, and then boom, a whole glow-in-the-dark cat just running by you. You're gonna think, one, you're high, and number two, what the hell was that? And you're probably gonna ignore it, but just know, I would be excited. But with that being said, no announcement, we're gonna dive right into this. So with that being said, I am going to introduce my amazing cousin, who is an awesome actor. So please, dear cousin. Oh, let me say this too. Me and my cousin, we're totally gonna mess with each other. I should let you guys know that now. We're both very funny individuals. She's more funnier than me. You know, I learned to be outlandish from her. But she's hilarious. But dear cousin, would you please tell the people who you be?
Yes, I can. Hello, all. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity on this podcast. I feel so special. So my name is Rasharia Good. I am the founder and director of Good Entertainment Theater Program Theater Company. Pretty much I'm 22 years old, just making it out here as an entrepreneur. I love that you mentioned earlier I am an actor and then some, because that is true. I am the jacks of all trades, honestly, the jack of all trades, in my opinion. So I'm dabbling into fashion right now, along into theater, meditation, healing, so much more, just to become grounded and also to, apply this groundedness into good entertainment and my life. So that's what I'm working on right now with
that. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So tell us, what started Good Entertainment? What was the initial moment? I'm going to create something that's going to help like the youth. What was like, take us there. What started and what got you there?
Yeah. Well, the idea, I've always had the idea of wanting to own my own agency, my own something. And it always has something to do with the arts. It always has something to do with wanting to train, wanting to help, wanting to service someone or allow people, you know, an opportunity to grow. I just didn't know how to go about it. And this has been forever since I was, you know, single digit, you know, single number ages. And earlier this year, you know, I had the idea, you know, good entertainment popped into my mind. You know, that was a vision that was sent to me, and I was very adamant about it. You know, I wanted to pursue it. I wanted to know more of what I could do with this. And it's a very catchy name. It's pretty much a combination of my last name, Good, and entertainment. You know, very simple, but unique to the sense. And the youth part, I wanted to service the youth. I come from this program where I worked in Miami, and that was what I was who I was catering to. That was my audience, you know, working with at risk youth and servicing them. And, you know, I'm young myself, so I can't say I can't relate to the older crowd, but it is more relatable and more near to peer when I am working with, you know, 12 and up or ages such as, you know, and just developing them and allowing them to be well-rounded through the arts, in my opinion. So that's kind of where that came from, wanting to service the youth because they too have a voice, and oftentimes, you know, their voices don't get heard. So why not allow a space? Why not allow a facility, a company to where these young kids or young adults, they can come and they can express themselves through an art form that is so popular but so ignored for whatever reason. And why not be that person to allow them that space, that expression to articulate themselves and to project themselves and to just find comfort into themselves and play with it and be okay with it. And that's how that started. So I'm very grateful for that vision.
You know, I love it because there was two things that I love you said so far. Was the first one was like receiving your vision, and I'm very happy that you did that because I know in the online course that I've already launched and just helping people with like receiving their vision, for you to just receive it and then just go on it and act. That's an amazing thing because some people, either one, they don't have the vision and they're not doing nothing, or number two, they do have the vision, but there are a lot of things that, you know, are holding them back. Most of the things is like self stuff, right? You know, confidence, doubt, can I do this? Do I have the education? This, that, and the other. And I love it that you just jumped right into it and here you are now. And the second thing that I love is you said create a space. And I love that because when you create a space for like you said, the youth and them having a place to express themselves and all of that, that's really amazing. And I feel like that's what it's really all about is when we follow our vision, we're literally creating a space for something, be it for other people, ourselves, something that we feel that would benefit the world. And I love that. So for you to say those two things was just really, really awesome. And the other thing too is that I love that even at the age that you are now, like in your early 20s, you already know that, okay, this is what I desire to do, and you're doing it. Not, oh, I'm thinking about this, but yeah, it's just a thought. And then you just go on Facebook wondering like, oh, what am I going to do with my life today? Like you're doing it, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah. And I think that's really motivating. Even now, like, you know, my typical 9-to-5 job, you know, funding that, I'm just like, I'd rather be working on good entertainment. What can I get into now? What involvement? And I think with this process, it just allowed me to just be more fearless. I've put myself, you know, in places to where if I didn't understand what the vision was or what was being told to me, I would still be questioning, you know, what am I doing? What is the purpose? But I know like I said, from the jump, this is something that I wanted to do. And I'm grateful for myself that I'm able to make it as far as where I am now with it. You know, good entertainment. I've sponsored it in so many things, and I have so much involvement in so many other projects at the moment, and I'm super, super excited and so grateful that, you know, people are allowing me, and, you know, it's a privilege, you know, to be a part of the things that I am a part of at the moment. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I am able to put a move on it and move with it and do something with it and believe in it. I just shouted my company out on Instagram. I was just like, I love Good Entertainment, and that's how everybody feel about what they're developing. And I stand strong and I stand solid on what Good Entertainment stands for. It's really to allow people a safe space. I can't even say a safe space, but a space to where it's judgment free, it's open-mindedness, it's inspiration, it's to be inspired, it's to be inspiring. And that's what Good Entertainment is about, just to allow that aura for people, for the youth, because they don't have a place for that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm all about. It's a free-spirited company. And I think with my personality and putting it into this company, that's the goal, for it to be projected, for me to show, this is who I am, and I'm projecting who I am within this company, and this is the space that I'm allowing, this free-spirited space, for people to showcase all their abilities and capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that. You're grateful. That's amazing right there. I love that. Just being grateful for what you do. And then what came to me is a question to ask you, because, okay, when it comes to starting your business and doing the thing that you love and everything, what is it like, or what, it doesn't have to be one thing, but whatever comes to you, what are the, I guess, like 3 to 5 things that you are learning from all of this whole journey so far?
What am I learning? Well, lately, I can start off with one that's very personal to me. I've been on a very spiritual on a spiritual awakening, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm learning to put God into this, because this isn't, something, like I said, it's something I woke up and was like, I wanted to do, but it was something that was sent to me. So from my spiritualness, I'm learning to pray about it. And to be guided along the process of what's best for the company. I'm learning to also, not wait for opportunity, but to create opportunity. Like I said, the projects that I'm involved in, it's not something that I waited for. It's something that I went out, and I volunteered myself. The things that I'm doing now, I'm not getting paid to do any of this. It's solo. I'm just volunteer, it's getting involved, it's participating, it's networking. And following along, number 3, networking. I'm learning how to network, so even better now, and just not being scared to ask. I'm learning to ask, because personally, I'm not a person to ask. I'm a person I'll rather observe and take note versus asking questions and probing and just making sure I understand and understanding. Along with I'm learning, I have to reteach myself. So I'm doing researches, I'm like, I know this stuff already. We go into places and we're like, no, we know that already. I've been through this. I don't have to go over it again. But I'm learning I have to reteach myself. I'm learning I have to research. I'm learning I have to, I have to understand this skill again, because I was able to do it, but now I'm able to teach it. And that's different, from physically doing something to now, okay, I'm doing it, but now I have to teach you how to do it. Now I want you to articulate it. And that's a different ball game within itself. Yeah. And let me see, that was what, number 4. So we have the spiritual awakening, networking, reteaching. What else did I say? Asking. And number 5, having faith. I feel like obviously having faith, it is a part of the spiritual awakening, but having faith and believing and really, really having pride in what you're doing, being confident. Not a lot of people are confident because they're unsure. And we can have confidence in different aspects and it looks different, but really, really believing that what you're doing is impactful and it's meaningful and it's purposeful. And every day I wake up, I always pray for purpose. I always pray to walk in a path of purpose and positivity, peace, and patience. And that this journey is really teaching me that. Teaching me a lot of patience and having a lot of peace and positivity and just being confident and having hope. That's definitely something I'm learning along this way.
Damn, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, even on all of that alone, like a person can just get like a gold mine on all of that, because that's all of that is very vital, very, very vital. The confidence, learning to ask, like, especially when you're just the type, okay, I'm gonna observe and take notes. Like,
Right.
that's the thing. And the biggest thing, like you said too, is when you learn something, but then now you have to teach it. That is a big light bulb game, but it actually helped you to understand. Like, one of the things I've learned, if you know something and you're able to teach it, then you know you really like got it. Because if you can't teach it, then you don't really know it. But that is a big thing too. And then, like you said, with your spiritual side, just bringing God into this and just having faith in that whole the confidence thing. I gotta tell you, boy, you definitely need like need your confidence. And also, not only that, but it builds and it builds and it builds. And you'll come to find, like, I will admit to myself that I originally was telling people, like, yeah, I'm a very confident person. And I had to come to discover that there were levels to this confidence thing, because I was
absolutely
right. I'm like, all right, like, I'm confident. Then something else happens, and it's just like,
well, damn, am I really? Like,
yeah, I'm like, okay, like, and you know, even in that, I've had to learn how to borrow confidence from myself in different areas. Like, I'll do something that's very, very different, and I'm like, and I'll be like, I don't really feel confident in this. And then I would have to talk to myself, like, dude, okay, what is it, something that you're absolutely confident in? I'm like, okay, well, I'm really confident I can just talk to anybody. Okay, you don't know a person, right? Right. Okay, you don't know this, right? Right. All right. You didn't know, but you learned to get to know. I'm like, oh yeah, I can learn to get to. Okay. And then you start to borrow that confidence, then boom, you know, you get back. I've had to do that with confidence.
Like that intrinsic motivation. I love that. Yeah. It's a lot of intrinsic motivation, especially when you're going out on a limb and just trying to do something that you've not, you know, it's new to you. It's wow. Like it's like you said, it's a lot of layers to peeling yourself and just being like, oh, all right, okay, here we are. It's uncomfortable. You have to get naked, and you're used to being naked in the shower, but you're not used to being naked, you know, in public. That's how I feel like.
Yes.
I could be naked in the shower. I know this, but you know, naked outside in the field, that's something different.
That's totally different.
Yeah, that's real. That is so real.
That is really real. Like, you hit that. That is like perfect. Like, I can be naked in the shower. I got my warm water. I got my, you know, soap and all. I know what to expect, you know. But I gotta go out in public, like.
Right. I'm not used to being naked in the ocean now. Hold on. Like, you know, like.
Right? Like, I can't control this temperature setting right here.
Exactly.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. People are coming from, like, okay, like, do I look at them? Do I not look at, like, yeah, that's a whole.
Oh my gosh.
That's great.
Yeah.
That great. You gave me some stuff right there. Okay. So now I have some questions for you.
Probe away.
So the first one would be, though I've been asking you questions, but anyways, the other question is going to be, what is a fun fact about you?
A fun fact about me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Don't call me weird. Free judgment. Okay. So every time I go grocery shopping, I have to, regardless, I have to buy a pack of Tic Tacs because I eat them all in like a day and a half setting easily. I pop Tic Tacs like candy, like pills.
Okay. That's not weird. That's not weird.
No?
No.
But like a pack of Tic Tacs?
I mean,
one day.
You said candy, so I mean, they're small though. Like, But I feel you though. Okay.
You're not supposed to endure all of that in one sitting. I'm pretty sure that's not healthy. But I don't know. I just love the feeling. That's the closest I'll get to drugs ever. But okay.
I love it. I love it. She's like, that's the closest I'll ever get to drugs. I love it. I love it. Okay, I like that. Well, you put it in that aspect. Yeah, that was fun. Okay. Okay. All right. So my next question is, which is good. So what type of people do you have to connect with in your field of work?
Um, Positive people for sure. Um, Only because like I noticed like when you feed into negativity, like I told you I pray for positivity regardless, even at my 9 to 5 over here in Bloomingdale's. I pray for, clients to come in positive, because when you're thinking positive and you're patient and you're at a calm, I'm at a calm with you too. So I pray for positivity. I pray I meet people who are just positively thinking and optimistic, because it just allows opportunity. It allows free flowing ideas. It allows people to be idealistic and comfort. And it's not, don't have to be comfortable all the time. But if I notice that you have a great mindset and you're in like a positive place, that allows me to trust you more, for sure. And I know you won't be a Debbie Downer, and that won't affect me. And I won't have self-doubt for myself, because, regardless if things goes, left or right, you have a positive outlook and you're being optimistic about it. So you'll end up having a different perspective, and we'll figure it out. So positive, which leads into positive people, which leads into solution oriented. If there is a problem, because I am a person of what if, and I like to think of, all the things that could go right or wrong. I like to have a solution for it. I like problem solvers, solution oriented people who can sit down and think of how can we fix it, or how can we make this better, how can we improve, because improving, there's always room for improvement. So another thing that I look for energy, and I don't mean that in a spiritual way, but energy as far as people who come in and they're ready to work. So ready to work, ready to get things started, motivated, go-getters. I'm looking for people who are ready, whatever the task is, we're ready to do it. We're ready to go. And, people who are determined, I guess that's a better word. You're determined to get it done. It's a task that needs to be done. We're going to get it. We're going to do it no matter how long it takes, no matter how hard it is, whatever challenge it is, we're going to do it. So those are the things that I look for, in people, in an environment, and peace. People who are at peace with themselves and people who are confident with themselves. Because like I said, people who are insecure will project their insecurities on you, and I just don't have time. I'm confident within myself, and I need you to be confident within yourself, and let's bring our souls together. Let's make something happen. Yeah. So that's what I look for.
Okay, bad. That was all good stuff. I like that. Okay, guys, I see you. I mean, you gotta be on point when y'all work with us, okay? 1 point.
Honestly, I like people who are ready to work. When I'm in my field, when I'm I'm focused, and it may seem like I'm being like I'm not being a bitch about it. When I have a task, I like to get it done. I like to, not right there and then, but I like it. I like progress. I like moving forward. I like going. There's no need to look back. There's nothing behind you. There's everything in front of you, nothing behind you. And there's no need to, it happened, whatever, let's keep on moving forward. So yeah. And people who are humble, humble people are the best people. Really.
Got you. I do like people who are humble, for sure. If you're not humble, you're gonna have some issues. You're gonna have to learn how to humble yourself. Okay. So I have the question of, could you give us a live demo of your acting skills?
Yes, I can. I came prepared. I have my infamous book of the Best Women Stage Monologues 2018 edition. As an actor, I encourage you to not ever in your life find monologues from a book that is a book of monologues, but for entertainment purposes, for stay ready purposes, for on the go purposes, I have these books, 2017 and 2018 edition, for entertainment purposes. When you are auditioning, don't you ever in your life, in your whole existence, get a monologue from a book of monologues. Get it from a published play. Okay? Get it from a published play. And I meant that. Oh, okay, so I'm going to do a cold read. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do a cold read, and this is one of the pieces that I was interested in portraying. I have not done a piece from this yet. So this is a cold. If you don't know what a cold read is, it's just me picking a piece from this book of monologues, and I'm reading from the book, and I'm pretty much improvising on the spot, essentially. Okay. So I'll give you some synopsis of what this piece is about. The piece is entitled Blood at the Root. The author is Dominique M. I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name, so I'm going to say M. It is a dramatic piece. The character that I am portraying is Asha. She's in her late teens. She's African American. Another tip for actors: try to choose characters that are very similar to you in age and race and so forth. If you are not comfortable, I would encourage you to find your connections, your similarities. Okay, so the synopsis of this piece is: in this direct address to the audience, so we're talking to the audience, Asha talks about her anger issues and what it means to be Black. I can relate to being young. She's in her late teens. I'm 22, close enough. And I can relate to being Black, if that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Okay. So I am beginning. People don't know this about me, but I used to have a lot of anger. You might not think it by looking at me, but I could really throw down. When I was 9, my mama and daddy got a divorce, was fighting all the time, and could never get on the same page. So they split. I went to stay with my mama in Florida for a while before she moved here to Louisiana. But when I was about 10, I started getting all this trouble at school, fighting and everything. Just mad all the time and didn't know why. So my mama sent me over to live with my daddy in Georgia for a couple years. He had himself a new wife and everything, living good in hot Atlanta with a new house and all. Wife was a Black woman. Her name was Sharon, and she was cool as hell. I liked her out the gate. And not saying a whole lot, because I ain't like nobody out the gate who been dating my daddy. But she was something special. Treated me like a daughter. Didn't try to replace my mama or nothing like that. Or even act like she could. I think that's what I liked about her. Or even act like, I don't know, she was real easy with me. And had her own kids, but had a bunch of nieces and nephews. And she told them to call me cousin. So they did. Used to hang with them, whatever it be, family get together. They say, "What up, cuz?" Like that. I remember feeling for the first time like I belong somewhere. Like finally, I didn't need to fight no more because I was in a company that felt like home. And I stopped being so angry all the time. Angry at mama and daddy, angry at myself even. Just angry at the world. After a while, mama called for me to move here with her. I was like 12. But I didn't want to say no more. I didn't feel comfortable back here. Not till I started hanging out with. They used to call me Blackout by association. All my friends and cousins in hot Atlanta, but here they just call me Fake. or wanna be or acting black. But you know what I think? If acting black mean being like Sharon, mean finding family and love in places you don't want it, you ain't expecting, if it mean not being angry unless you got good reason, then maybe we should all be acting black more often. And that's all I gotta say about that. Thank you.
Okay, I felt that. I was feeling that. Like I could feel like my facial expression was like going into like with the character and how it's like she was feeling the different things. So I like that. I like it. That was very. You went there. You definitely you went there, and I don't know. I just when you started, I kind of was just I don't know. I sat. I don't know. I thought I'm sitting down. It had me sitting down within myself and really just kind of like feeling the character, and I can just like just off of you acting her part, I could feel the characters like I guess struggles and different things like around what the character's feeling. But I don't know, that's just me. You know I'm weird with feeling stuff. So I just felt that. I felt that. I really felt that. And with that, because there is a question that actually relates to that I was gonna ask with that is like, but you mentioned it because my next question was gonna be like, how do you act a part that's completely against your own nature, but you just said try to find an actor who is in around your age group, race, different things like that.
Yeah. So I highly encourage because when going into auditions or auditioning for a piece, like I'll just give an example for myself and speaking from experience. I tried to portray a 40-year-old woman in one of my pieces, to post out on Instagram, and I found it really challenging because I wasn't able to relate. The character was 40 years old. She was going through a divorce. She had a cheating husband and she had 2 kids who were, just belittled her for wanting to feel herself again. And I was only able to relate to part of that character. And I found it challenging because of, the words that were being said. And I had to embody, what it was like to be a mom. First off, I had to embody, how I felt as a child and what my mother, how she talked to me, and she would, discipline me to a sense vocally. And it was very challenging. But I noticed, and I can compare that to the pieces to where I'm playing someone, younger or someone in their 20s. I can relate to that. I can embody them more because I'm in my 20s. There may be a situation that not exactly like theirs, but I'm pretty sure I've experienced something to where I'm able to imitate that into that piece. Mm-hmm. So a great example would be a piece that I did entitled Charm, and you can check that out on my Instagram page. And it was about a 23-year-old woman. I can't relate to having kids, but she had kids to take care of, and she had a husband named Daniel who was in love with a transgender woman who had HIV. Now, I can't relate to being in love with a man who's in love with a transgender, but I can relate to being, again, in my 20s. I can relate to being, at the time, she was homeless. I can relate to being homeless. I know how that feels. I can relate to the things that she was going through to love somebody and not being loved back. So I was able to take my personal experience, my very own Rasharia Goods personal experience, and try to relate to that character and empathize and sympathize with that character. And you will notice in the piece when I'm portraying this character, it's so real and it seems so genuine because my emotions I put with this character. And that's how you make a masterpiece versus I'm not able to relate to a 40-year-old woman because I've never been a 40-year-old woman who's had marriage issues. So it kind of helps you out more, especially when auditioning, because you're able to find similarities within your character that you're portraying.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's a lot easier for you to relate to someone that you understand it, you grasp it because you probably had an experience to where you're able to relate it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, that's some tips right there. That is some really good tips because I see some actors and I always wonder like, how is it that you can just play like this role and you're not even that person? Like, I don't know. I know for me, like I could be a bit eccentric and I could be, I guess like super positive. So it's like if someone was to say, "Hey, I need you to play a degular, negative person whose view on life is just," and I was like, I don't think I can do that. That's like really hard for me because I smile all the time.
Right.
Like for me
Right.
to do that, I'm like, okay, but like you said, I'm like, okay, well, I was at a period where I did have a negative mind state, so I can go there.
Yeah.
Um, I
Yeah.
can tap into those feelings, but I'm like, I smile, so it's just that's how I act. Like that would be hard.
Yeah. And that's a great example with that would be the Joker. And I can't think of the actor's name right now, and they're probably going to criticize me for that. But I just know from, people really take it to the extreme to really embody this character. The Joker is a very, crazed character, very insane. It's a lot of mental emotions and a lot of physical abuse and emotional abuse and mental abuse. And it's just like, not many people are known to get that type of abuse. So how can someone go there and take it there? And
Mhm.
people will really use the method of going as far as, doing some things to kind of torment them personally, to embody this character so profession, to perfection. And I'm not gonna go through a situation to where I have a cheating husband or a husband who wants to go through, who wants to be with a transgender woman.
Mhm.
But I'm going to find my similarities, but people will take it, to that extreme to really get in character. And salute to you. Salute to you, but be careful with that too, because that can really mess you up, and that can put you in a category, because when people see that you're really good at this thing. So if your character is to be negative all the time, and you've been in a space to where you've been negative and it's really good, and you're getting castings, or you're getting into plays or whatever, people are like, you're really good at being negative, so we want you to be this negative character all the time. That
Mhm.
can affect you, and that can put you in a box too, so you want to be careful as well too. It's good to be very versatile as an actor, and I highly encourage you to find those pieces and be different.
Wow.
Challenge yourself. It is good to challenge yourself, but try not to get limited and put in a box because you're so good at a certain something. So even with me, I know I'm good at being aggressive. I don't want to stick with things to where I'm aggressive all the time. I want things to where I want to be submissive. I want to challenge myself. Like, how would I be if I was supposed to be, someone sad all the time? Because I do walk around happy all the time, or I do walk around like, let's go,
Mhm.
assertive. And it's I like, the goal of an actor is to be able to embody characters to where you can be anybody. Is to put to your imagination how you want this character to be portrayed. So if you're playing a drunk character, play your drunk character. Not every drunk character is the same. I'm sure
Yeah.
some people know what it's like to be drunk. If that's how you are when you're drunk, go for it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm calling them all over. I'm over the place, but like, I'm making points. They're valid.
Yeah, no, I mean, but you're
Yeah.
not going. I see it. Like if you basically like if you with these different points, you can tap into these different sides. So no, I get it.
Right.
I do.
Right. There's methods, and I'm going to pull out my phone really quickly just to read you some methods that as an actor, we're told to study. So definitely in college, um, I'm just going to read. There's 4 methods of how to really embody. So there's and technique, excuse me. So there's the Meisner technique, and how it describes is the Meisner technique is based around the concept of truthful acting. Excuse me. Um, so it is to encourage the student to live truthfully under any given imaginary circumstance. The approach is to have the actor act on their emotional impulses, essentially leading with their hearts as opposed to their brains. So this means to really feel your character. And a great example is me talking about the Joker earlier. So that actor went above and beyond to really feel what his character was going through personally. And, like I said, sometimes that could be tricky. The next one is, sorry, I'm going to like mess up these names because they're very foreign names. But whatever. So Stanislavski system, and that method is to require that an actor uses their emotional memory. So going back to, I remember how I was in this thought of being negative, I can tap into being negative again and play this character. So the actor is tapping into his emotional memory when approaching their work. This requires an actor to recall past experiences and memories, bring them into any given scene and character they are bringing to life. Therefore, an actor should ask themselves, how would I react if this was really happening to me? And I feel like that's the most common way people think, by trying to tap into, their past and be able to relate. And it depends on the piece,
Yeah.
So the next piece is Lee Strasberg. Like I said, my apologies on the names, y'all. I'm still in progress. I'm still learning too. So this method is talking about actors should intensify their connections to the work by imitating their character's experience. And this is, like I said, I'm not going to go that deep, but if you have a character that's portraying to be drunk, you may go get drunk and try to memorize your lines or something just to feel how you would feel in this moment. And that's up to you, but that's a very radical experience,
Mm-hmm.
And within this context, by imitating their characters' experiences within the content of their real lives. By doing this, one should be able to reach a greater understanding and a richer connection to the emotional states of their character. Mm. And the last one, last but not least, the Atlantic's Practicals Aesthetics. And what this says, this technique is focused on two parts. So act before you think and think before you act. Script analyzes and performance technique classes focus on analyzing a script by understanding the story and given circumstances, and then going through the process of choosing an action and making specific choices that will create a character. So again, this is you using your imagination, and if a character is very sad and depressed, you may have never been sad or depressed before, but you're going to try to imitate how a sad and depressed person is to the best of your ability. And so those are techniques that actors, those are common techniques that actors use to be able to project and to portray a character. So it's a lot of technique and a lot of intricate ways to go about it.
Got you. I mean, you gave me some things to really look at and observe when it comes to different actors. So now just having that insight makes me think, I wonder what this character had to do to fulfill this role and different things like that. Because my first thing is dang, you got a whole script in front of you, memorize that. I'm like, oof, that's the thing. And then on top of that, putting the emotions in there. And it's just making me think, if I was to do acting, I felt like I would have to know the character, read the lines, and then after that, I think I would use a combination of everything that you said. Okay, one, I can tap into that. Okay, I know how it was. So if this person was, let's just say, an angry Black teen or whatever, or not teen, an angry Black 20-year-old or whatever, I can times that I was pissed, definitely can do that. I can definitely
right.
I'm in my 20s. I'm like, okay, let me see what he's going through. Okay, well, he's going through this because he just feels like life isn't fair. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to tap into what that feels like of life not being fair, because that's gonna challenge how I see. So it's like, okay, so I would go back into what happened to me that wasn't fair, and then. Right. I would magnetize that into life.
That's exactly it. It. So. And I'm happy you said that, because when doing that, that's exactly that's what you push the actor to understand. What is the state the stake? What is the objective? Why is this moment so important? And why does it have to happen now? And I like that you said that. Taking what you've experienced and magnetizing it, because that's where always, like, even the simplest thing is like, why is it important that I close the door?
Yeah.
And yeah. I like that you said that, because that's exactly what it is. You hit it right on the nail.
Okay.
Yeah. You getting it? You getting
it? Maybe, done a little acting, at some point. Like, okay.
Go for it. Hey.
Just a little, nothing.
Yeah, you are a character, Thaddeus. Don't even. Oh my goodness. Okay. You needed an Oscar like yesterday. Do you understand?
I appreciate that. Because, I be trying to act. I be trying to put my little acting, on a little bit. You know what I mean? But memorizing lines, I'm like, okay. I feel like, I got to be with the right people. Like, if it was lines and I had to memorize, I think I could do it. It'll be fun. But
yeah,
that's your gift, cuz. That's your gift.
It's honestly,
that's your gift.
No, memorizing the lines is like literally the last important thing. Like, obviously you want to get the material, but they always taught us to, like, it's just words on a paper, and those words don't mean anything until you bring it to life, until you make it mean something. It's really about what's in between the lines. And I think that's always important too. So, like, in the cold read that I just did, that would be 10 times better if I really took the time to understand what's in between the lines and relate more. But it's not even about memorizing. That's a given. Like, that takes me no more than an hour to do when I'm portraying a video, when I'm presenting a video. It's nothing. It's nothing.
It's making me think, like, I don't know what type of character. I don't know. You know me. What type of character could I be in the acting world? Like, how you got that one character when you think of, they are like, I think of Scarlett Johansson. I'm like, okay, she's gonna be in all types of different films. It's gonna be different. When I think of Morgan Freeman, it's gonna be something wise that he's gonna be.
Oh my God.
That's just me. Yes. So I'm like, I wonder what would I be? I don't know what I'd be. I think I'd be that guy.
You would be in the band club. That's what you would be in. You would be like, this is a library. Quiet, please.
I can see that.
Like, sister, open your eyes. Welcome into the light. Sister, your ancestors are talking to you.
Your ancestors, they're coming.
Sister, listen.
I can see it. I can see it. I'd totally be that guy. I'd totally be that guy.
That's wrong with you now, brother. You not woke. You round here.
Oh my gosh, I could be that guy. I could act that guy. I'm like, in real life, guys, I'm not. I'm not that guy in real life. In real life, a little bit, but not like, I'm not that guy.
You'll be the one to talk about, like, quantum physics, and people will be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I feel like that would be your character. You will say some real random scientific, factual, actual shit. And people will be like, shut the fuck up. Because, dude, what the fuck?
I'm like, you need to know this. This is like.
But you would literally, just how you do, you'll be the fun fat guy. Did you know the sky is not actually blue, but the particles that make up this, that, and the third? Like.
I would do that. I could totally do that. I really could. Like, I literally would be that guy. Like, hey, did you know? Did you know that? Did you know? Your heart has brain cells. It was like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Literally? The heart can think. Like, you didn't know this? Like, you need to be woke on these things. You sit around here thinking that you only think with your brain, but your heart has it too. That's what's wrong with y'all right now.
You feel it with your head and not your heart. Like,
exactly.
Wake up.
Exactly. Wake up. I could do it. I could totally do that.
Oh my gosh.
I could be that guy with a tinge of extra, a splash of sarcasm, and a dash of just being extra and outlandish.
You could be the guy to, like, if you were like in a college or school or something, you would never have a book bag. You would just bring like a pencil and a notebook. And people would be like, why don't you have a book bag? You'd be like, I don't need all that extra baggage. Like,
Exactly.
that would be you.
I would be that guy. Like, I don't need that in my life. When you have a book bag and you have book, I would make it deep. Like, you have a book bag, you have books, you're bringing that with you. You pretty much like setting yourself up to carry the weight of the world like on your back. So I just feel if I keep it simple, my life is simple. But that's just me. Y'all want to do these books and stuff like that, and you barely using it. So stay woke. Stay woke, guys. Stay woke.
That's why you're slouching and I'm standing straight because I don't need scoliosis. Thanks.
Exactly. Like, you don't know it. Like the man is programming you to slouch. Like they're messing you up. Like I could do it.
My God.
I could do it. I could do that. I could be that guy confidently. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So
I know what I'm casting. I know where my next male actor is coming from for my next project. Got it already. You're hired. Talk to you soon. My people will connect with your people. Cool.
Hey, let them know. I'm here.
My God.
Okay. Oh, that was great. I know people listening to the podcast are going to be like, these guys, like, you're welcome. You're welcome. We're blessing you. Okay, so this is going to be the last segment of the podcast, and for those of you who have been used to the last segment, it is actually not the health is wealth. I literally thought of doing something different where I do a segment where it's questions from the listeners, and I put a post on my Facebook, and I asked a question like, hey guys, what questions would you like answered in the next podcast? So this is something that I'm introducing to the podcast. So if you all follow me on any of my social medias, Instagram, the Facebook page for the Connect 007, then, you're going to see me ask this question. So I did it, and I received 3 questions from an awesome listener. She's amazing. And we're both actually going to answer these 3 questions. And I feel like, well, no, I guess I kind of feel like y'all already know these with me, but we're going to go through them anyways. So because we have our amazing guest speaker on, I'm going to ask her the question first, and then I will give my answer. So the first question from one of our listeners was, why is connection so important to you?
Why is connection so important to me?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't tricky, but it's tricky only because I've always believed in connection, and I always believed in having ties with people. Like the connection you have with people and the energy around that you have with people is very important because it has a greater effect on you. And I have different branches of connections, honestly. So I have soul connections, I have human connections, and some other connections too as well. But connections, I'm tongue-tied.
Like this.
I'm tongue-tied.
Yes, you're tongue-tied.
I know it's important, for sure. It is very important. And my reasoning for importance, because I only have a couple of connections with people, because you don't want to be tied to everybody, because that's draining. So that's why I say I like to connect with people who are on the same but emotional, spiritual, mental, physical vibe as me. And having that connection that allows you to surround yourself with the crowd of people that you may need in that moment. You don't feel alone. A lot of people don't feel connected, which allows them to seek a sense of belonging in other places. And sometimes it's not for the best of their ability or for the best for them. And I don't know, having a connection with either intimately with your significant other or with someone that means a lot to you, it just brings a lot of hominess, a lot of comfort, and just a sense of compassion. It's a sense of, it's a privilege to feel with people.
Mhm.
You're connected with me, and I'm able to empathize with you. I'm able to feel what you're feeling and be understanding and be considerate. And right now I'm speaking soul. Um, and I'm able to relate to you. And that, I don't know, connection's important for empathizing. That's all I have for right now for that one.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. Okay. So, question, I guess, so for me, for you all listening, is why is connection so important to you? So for me, connection is my gift. That is just the gift that I popped out my mom. This is your gift, my dude. So that is my gift. And not only that, but connection just in general with people, plants, nature, spirit, all that, just connection in general literally just gives me so much life. And not only
Mhm.
that, but I just have a way of really learning from my connections with so many different types of peoples, beings, and different things. So I really, in a sense, would go on to say connection is, for me, is like a requirement for like life. Like we have our, our basics first. I would almost say even survival, because
Mm.
we have water, we have food, we need shelter, and warmth and air and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? But I feel like connection is very important because, like, when it comes back to everything that we're doing, it's going to require connection. If you have a business, you have to connect with people. Your money is
Yeah.
going to come from people. If
Yeah.
you need help, it's going to come from a person or spirit. Like, so I just feel like connection is something that's very, 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 very vital. And I feel like it is actually a basic a survival thing for everybody, but it's not really talked about. It's not really focused on. It's kind of like, oh, well, hey, you popped out. This is your mom. This is your dad. This is your cousins. This is your brother and your sister. Here you go. But
Yeah.
I just feel like it can really go deeper. And I just feel the biggest thing with connection, why it's so important, is when you really get more connected with yourself, you can really get more connected with other people and things around you. So,
Mm.
but that's my answer. That's my answer. So, okay. So the second one, I think this will be easy one for you. So the second one is, in what ways have your connections helped you?
Oh my gosh, like my brain is like wired. I'm like, there's so many things to connect to. Like I don't know where to start. Like I'm like it's empathizing, but I don't. It's so much. Like, repeat the question again.
No problem. In what ways have your connections helped you?
In what ways have my connections helped me? Compassionate wise, I've being compassionate and being understanding and considerate. It's allowed me to gain the trust of others, and this has been important for me in my profession, not necessarily acting, but in my workplaces. Just to being able to be relatable, being able to allow people to be heard. Because, when people feel like you don't really care, you're not listening, you're not trying to connect with them, or you're not trying to feel with them to a sense, I guess, they kind of become standoffish. And I never want people to feel like I'm not caring about their situation. But I always want people to feel open to talk to me about whatever they're going through, because I feel like I'm a person who gives great advice. I can give advice but not take my own. But yeah, that's helped me, allowing people to gain my trust, to a sense, because I don't want you to feel there's no, I don't want you to feel like you can't trust me. Whatever the situation is, I never want people to, I know how it is to bottle up your emotions and not feel like you can talk to somebody. And, talking is a connection. I always want people to feel like you can open up to me, and whatever you're feeling, it's no judgment. So that's helped me into that sense. Connection, far as connecting with people, like I said, Good Entertainment wouldn't have come this far business wise without me connecting with people, without networking, and without putting myself out there and allowing to be exposed, allowing being more involved with social media. That helps too as well, being more technical with connection. I've gained more views, more interaction with people for Good Entertainment and for my personal page. So that's another aspect of connecting, how it's helped me with Good Entertainment. And then connecting, far as, I am poor with communications and keep connecting with family and friends and just making sure they're good. So I always say a prayer out into the universe and making sure everyone's covered. So connecting spiritually and humanly, if that makes sense. I'm trying to get better with checking on people, because even your strong friends need love too, and then connecting spiritually. Like I said, me being more connected spiritually has allowed me to gain a lot more insight on so many things, and it's given me more advice than me observing something, and it's allowed me to be more vulnerable, but in a good way. Vulnerable, but not gullible.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense to where I'm gaining more of an understanding, and I'm able to put the puzzle together and actually comprehend it without feeling so unsure and uncertain, if that makes sense.
Makes sense. Okay, that was good. That was definitely good. All right then. Deep cuts I like. So for the question again, in what ways have your connections helped you? I would say for me, the biggest things to sum everything up for me would be ignorance and expansion. Ignorance because I am fully aware that I am ignorant to so many things. And I'm okay with that because I'm gonna learn through it if I need to learn through it. So I have people who are very knowledgeable in so many different areas that I am not. And so I can be very ignorant, as in like I just don't know what the heck to even do. So I do know because of the connections that I have, okay, I don't know this, but this person knows this. I can connect with this person. And even just recently, like I didn't know how to do an online course. I literally just did the last podcast on just like that, of how that even came about. Like there was 3 people in general who helped me with this. And so that's one thing. And then expansion, because there are people like just with the connections that I have, they love what I'm doing. I talk with them and they will literally suggest, hey, have you thought of doing this? Like, I love what you're doing. You ever thought of maybe adding this to this? And it's like, no, I didn't, but okay, that is different. And it caused me to really expand outside of my world of things.
Yeah.
And so those are like the 2 biggest things, like just connections so far. I mean, there's other things, but I feel like that is the byproducts of them helping me with my ignorance and them just helping me expand as an individual. So
I love that. That's beautiful. That's awesome.
Grazie. Okay. And the last question, so I feel like this one might be super easy, is what keeps you positive?
Prayer.
Okay.
Prayer. What keeps me positive is prayer and fear. And what I mean by that, I am a God-fearing woman. And so I know that if I do put some type of karma out, some type of bad karma, it will bite me. And that puts me in check. I can snap. I'm gonna always have a slick mouth. Like, that's not changing. But I've learned to I learned to not control, but manage my emotions, and manage my actions.
Mm-hmm.
And that's allowed me to just learn how to brush things off and not react so quickly. That's allowed me to understand different perspective and understand what if and understand the why of situations.
Mm-hmm.
And it's helped me. It's that's what keeps me positive, knowing that the energy that I put out into this universe, the karma that I put out into this universe, if it's not good, it's gonna hurt me, and I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to be sad. I don't want any of those emotions to interfere with the empire that I'm trying to build. So like I told you, I wake up every day and I pray, regardless of where I am. That may not be the first thing that I do, but definitely prayer as I'm walking into work. Like I said, the 4 P's that I asked for is patience, positivity, peace, and purpose. And that's what keeps me positive. And I also post very positive quotes on my Instagram, my personal Instagram page. And I read, like the I'm going to say this word wrong and incorrectly, but I'm just going to explain it more so than say it. But when you're seeing the synchronized numbers, like 444 or 111
Yeah,
or
yeah.
2, something like that, I'll research it and see what it means. And like I said, that's been helping me too. And just understanding, and it talks about, like, the spirit guides and the guardian angels being proud of you and you're on the right path. And I just like to put out positive energy, because there's no reason to be negative about anything. Life is too short. And who wants a nagging old negative bitch in their life, pretty much? Like, long story short, I don't want to be known for that person to be like, every time you think of me, you think of, I don't want to reach out to this person, or I don't want to be involved with this person because they're a Debbie Downer. And that's not the life I live.
Right.
I'm all smiles every day. I'm an open heart. I'm a happy heart. I'm open for learning. And that's what keeps me positive. Prayer and fear.
Gotcha.
Weird combination. Yeah.
Okay. Random. You got 4 4. You get 4 4 too.
I've been getting all of them except for 666 and 888 and
Gotcha.
777. I've been getting 12 12, 10 10, 11 11, 1 1, 3 3, 2 2, and 4 4. And I recently just got 5 5 5. Like all of those numbers and stuff like that. 4 4 4. All that, whatever I just said. I said them 2 times, 3 times. You know what I mean?
I get you. Okay, yeah, because I normally my normal ones is 4 4 4, 9 2 3, 1 2 3 4, yeah, 5 5 5 here and there, and 11 11 here and there. But the main ones would definitely be 4 4 4, 9 2 3. Those have been the main ones, and 1 2 3 4 would be a thing too.
What is 923 your birthday?
No, the day after my birthday. Yeah, the day after my birthday.
Yeah. Birthday. I've been getting 1243. That's my great grandmother's, but I'm like, I didn't even know you, sis, but hey.
Right?
Damn. Yeah. But the main ones I've been getting are the 444, 333. 444 mainly. That's the main one I noticed. And I was like, okay, hi, how y'all doing? What's up?
Right.
What y'all trying to tell me now? Let's talk.
Yeah.
And 1111. Like I said, I listen. I've been very big on that lately, and it helps, because it's just that's, it's good to know you're doing good, and the things you're doing is making it's impactful. Someone's listening, someone's paying attention. So yeah, it's nice. It's refreshing.
For sure.
For sure.
I do.
Yeah, it's refreshing. It keeps me in check.
And I guess for me, so what keeps me positive is, I would say meditation. When I go and I meditate and I connect with my source, and I don't know, I just get information, or I'm growing, that keeps me positive, like internally. And then externally, what keeps me positive is like all of my loved ones, and just knowing, like, I know for me it's just like, okay, I know the things that I'm doing, I plan to be able to just help those around me and those who've helped me. So staying positive and not like giving up, and other stuff that comes with it, definitely works. And not only that, I would say energetically for me, the difference in being positive versus being quote unquote negative, like negative is just, I don't know, that just hurts me. I just can't do it. It
Yeah.
bothers me. But when it's positive,
Yeah.
it's more of it's like it expands me. That's what keeps me there. And like, I don't know. I notice the feelings. Like if I say something negative, I feel like a decline in my spirit. But when I
Mhm.
say something positive, I feel like I'm elevating, and I don't like going down. It's just it affects me. So that would be those things that definitely keeps me
That's
positive.
real. That's mad real.
Yeah,
It's just like you
because
say something negative, you're like, damn, did I really have to take it there?
right, because
The
yeah,
old me's coming back. Damn.
yeah, exactly. Like, that wasn't nice. And then
You're right. Then you have to act like the JK. Like, ha,
it'd
JK.
be hard for me to JK because they be knowing I'm like I can't BS it. Y'all know. Like that's why I'll be around. Like, if I'm in a negative state of mind, like something happening, I try not to be around people because they gonna feel it. Like I've been around
Yes. Oh
people.
my gosh, yes.
Yeah, they're like, nah, I feel your energy. You ain't like I had one friend. I was in a negative space because I was just like going through some stuff, and
Hmm.
he was just talking to me. He was like, yeah, he's like, I can tell your energy. Like he's like, it wasn't the same. He was like, usually when I speak with you, it's more of like I don't know, I feel something back. But he was like, I just felt you. I just felt you. You wasn't yourself. And I was just like,
Right.
yeah, I was just in a negative space. I'm like, I was like, bruh, I don't even come out or deal with people. I don't interact with people when I'm in this space because I know my energy. But
Right. You know how like strong it is. And people really do notice though. They're like even like at work. They're like, "Are you good?" And I'm like, I just straight up be like, "No, I'm not. Just give me like 45 minutes and I got you." Like I'm literally then just give me 45 minutes to an hour and I'll be back to normal. Just give me a
yeah,
second.
just give me a second. I gotta process these things because
Mm-hmm. I
yeah,
learned a vent too. I'll vent and I'll talk about it. And it's good to talk about it, but I'll vent and then I'll be like logical and practical later. But like I'll vent and just overly dramatic about whatever situation it is, being negative, and I'll curse into the winds, and I'll be like, "All right, I'm good now. I'm still that bitch. Like I'll live. Like I'll live. I'm good."
love it, love it. It be like that. It be like that. All right. So with that, that is pretty much the end of the podcast. So, cuz, tell them how can they find you?
Yes, you can find good entertainment. You can follow my personal as well too at RIAARADONNE Ria Radon. But I would prefer if you follow good entertainment on IG and Facebook at GOODENTERTAINment. So good, my last name, GOODE Entertainment, and it's all together. Facebook and Instagram.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. And with that being said, guys, that is it for this podcast. I appreciate you all taking the time out of your amazing schedule to press play and bless your ears with amazing content and receive good value. Also, if you know anyone who is interested in acting and they have definitely been wanting to learn more about that, definitely recommend this episode. And then I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, because you do have a thing where you're helping with actors, right? Or voiceovers or something.
Yes, so at the moment I am in a project. It's a horror monster a theme project, nothing crazy, but I am looking for male voiceovers, male actors. I'm not looking for professionals. You can be, amateur. I just need someone who has the voice for these particular character. If you're into mobsters, monsters, like spooky things, definitely contact me. That, and you can put my Gmail below, Good Entertainment, Good Entertainment Inc at Gmail, and definitely email me and reach out to me, because I'm for sure looking for people, and so much more too as well.
Awesome. That's opportunity, guys. Opportunity. So if you're feeling
Yes.
it, something you're feeling led to do, you better hop on it.
Yes.
So with that being said, guys, that is it. You all have an amazing rest of your evening, rest of your morning, whenever you're listening to this. And I will be talking with you all next week. So thank you so much. And I will talk to you all soon.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. Please leave a 5-star rating and share with a friend near you. Remember, the world's a better place because you exist. Know your worth and know thyself.